Hi guys, welcome into lesson 19. The learning target today says I can draw kites and squares and I can call a shape by all of its names. You should have your module book, a pencil and an eraser with you, and a straight edge. A ruler would be preferable, but certainly a straight edge of some kind because we're going to be drawing shapes like we have been for the last week and a half now. And we've spent a lot of times thinking about quadrilaterals. Those are four-sided shapes, and we've drawn all sorts of different kinds of quadrilaterals. We've drawn rectangles and rhombus, but today we draw squares and kites. And if we were in class right now, we would just spend a lot of time drawing these shapes. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to start with my drawing tool, and I'm going to draw a four-sided figure. And in order to draw this four-sided figure and to meet the requirements of what a kite is, I'm going to take a peek over here at this chart that I've included that you can use when you pause the video or stop it to read it and remind yourself of what this new shape is. Because you've seen squares and rhombus and rectangle before, but you may not have drawn a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral, a four-sided shape, with two pairs of adjacent congruent sides. That means that the sides that are next to each other, this side and this side, they're congruent. They have the same side length. And I've used my chart paper here to draw the exact same side length. So from this corner to this corner is the exact same length as this corner to this corner. So that's what a kite is. A kite is a four-sided figure that has two pairs of congruent sides. And those sides that are congruent are adjacent. They are next to each other. But it is not a rhombus. They do not have four congruent sides. We've spent a lot of time drawing rhombus, and those all have the same side lengths. A kite doesn't. Two pairs of lines have congruent side lengths. This side is adjacent to this side. They must be the same length. And this side is adjacent to this side, and they must have the same length. So I've just drawn a kite. It's a four-sided figure, a parallelogram, and it has two adjacent congruent sides. Adjacent just means next to. All right. Is it also a square? No, it's not a square. A square has four right angles. I don't see any right angles in this one. No 90-degree angles. Is it also a rhombus? No, of course not. It doesn't have four congruent sides. It only has two, this and this, and this and this. All right. So that's the shape of a kite. And we could draw this big or small or medium or however we wanted to. This is a square. It's a shape you know what? Let's use a different tool. They offer me squares, so let's just do it. Let's save ourselves a little time here. This is a square. How do we know? I don't know. Let's ask ourselves, how do we know that's a square? Yeah, you might have said that it has four right angles. I agree with you. It has a right angle here, that's 90 degrees, a right angle here, here, and here. So each of these lines come together to form 90-degree angles. The sum of this whole shape would be 360 degrees. The sum of this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. That's the deal with quadrilaterals. But it also has side lengths that are exactly the same. They're congruent. This side length, and this side length, and this side length, and this side length, they're all the same. Okay, and that's the thing about a square. Is it also a rhombus? Yes, it is also a rhombus, because remember, a rhombus just has four congruent sides. This has four congruent sides. Now, a rhombus isn't a square, right? A rhombus doesn't have any 90-degree angles, but a square is a rhombus. Is it a rectangle? Sure, it's got four right angles. Is it a kite? Yes, it has two pairs of adjacent congruent sides.